Hello and welcome back to another Aldi and Lidl tool video. I've cleaned my workbench down. I'm going to have a look at some more tool items I've picked up from Aldi's and Lidl, and also an item I got from Amazon for modelling. So we'll jump straight in and have a look at the first item out of the bag. That is a 17-piece file set that I got from Lidl. This is Parkside range again. A lot of the stuff again comes from Lidl. I have found the past couple of months Aldi has been very thin on the ground tool wise. I was going to get a screwdriver and bit set which was quite large from Aldi, but I went into Aldi and they had 4 on the shelf. I went through each one individually and tried to make up a complete set because somebody had opened them all, or various people had opened them all, and somebody had took a different item out of each one. So I couldn't actually make one complete set out of 4, even with the help of the Aldi staff, which isn't on really, people taking stuff out of them in the shop, but there's nothing I can do. So a lot of the stuff comes from Lidl. Like I say, I've got an Amazon one, but I've also got a couple of Aldi bits. Right, let's start with the file set. So like I said, 17-piece file set in the storage case. So let's slide the recyclable card off there, and it's secured with a cable tie, so we'll just snip that off and we'll have a look inside. Now obviously a very nice, relatively sturdy case. Unzip it to find, whoops, on the way, a nice, look at that, nice file set. Ouch, that was sharp. So we've got 4 big files there. We've got half round file, circular file, flat file, triangular one. There's a brush, I wouldn't say a brush, there's a wire brush there to clean the what do you call it, clean the swarf out of the files. One thing I was taught in technology classes at school: never file wood. Rasps are for wood, I believe. Never file wood. And then we've got a set of miniature files which will be handy for modelling. We've got various different ones all in this handy carry case. Now I tend to use these multi-sided like the square files when I'm doing modelling. So if I was going to file something like this old Triang blue Pullman cab, which used to be stuck to a drawer, so if I was going to file it, I'll get that piece of glue off. Oh yeah, look, it's ripped through that plastic that took that handrail off. That's actually really good. And the detritus that's in there, if we use that little brush, see if it's any good. Like brand new, and they're really quite abrasive. So yeah, I like those. Back in there, put my cab away. So yeah, 17-piece file set from Parkside at Lidl. This was, I think this was $14.99. One thing I have noticed with Lidl is the prices are creeping up a little bit, but this was something I hadn't got. I have got files, but it's nice to have a nice set, and I will eventually go through my toolboxes and get rid of all the older stuff. And it's all neatly held in this zippable storage case. So yeah, I like that. So that's the file set. I won't bother putting that back in because it's not like I'm going to use that again. Right, the next thing I picked up was a interlocking storage organisers. Come in a set of 3. So let's cut this. Cut this off here. And again, it's nice that the packaging is just cardboard, so you can easily recycle it. And these lock together, one on top of the other, using the clips on the side there. So I'll take one off and we'll have a look inside this one. Pink Lady. I don't think that's Must have been the snack I had from Lidl's. Right. So you've got 4 clips to undo, 2 on the front, 2 on the side. And that is actually quite good. These are removable, so you can have larger or smaller storage areas. And like I said, they come in a set of 3 that interlock with each other. Snap on there quite. He says, oh dear. Oh no, there you go. Hadn't got it aligned properly. And they are all the same. They are all the same layout, so you can move the middle pieces, like I said. And they're handy for storing things like spare cabs or your tools, different screws, washers, whatever. I cannot remember how much they were for a set of 3. I think it wasn't expensive. It was something like $6.99. So yeah, they're quite good. I like them. You can get enough storage, especially when you do modelling and stuff. I mean, I have all my stuff stored in these racks at the back here that we've looked at in previous videos. But for people like for paints and stuff, I mean, they're ideal for like Humbrol paints. You can all sit in there. Like you can get 5 or 6 in there, or if you're soldering, solder and flux pots, everything seems to fit. They're actually they are quite big. You get a lot in those. So yeah, I like those. $6.99 I think they were. Don't quote me on it, but I think they were $6.99 for 3. And interlockable storage units. The next thing we're going to look at out of the bag is from Aldi. It is a work zone screwdriver set, 8 pieces, 4 Phillips 4 flathead screwdrivers. So this is actually sealed with a sticker, so hopefully nobody has got sticky fingers and took anything out of this. Alright, so we'll have a look inside here. So you've got 8 screwdrivers, starting with a large heavy duty screwdriver there. I mean, the grip's quite comfortable. Magnetic tip, I think, on that. Let me just, yeah, that is a magnetic tip on the end of the screwdriver, which is always handy when you're screwing, because it helps you grab the screw. So you've got 4 different sizes down to this little one for tighter jobs, and obviously the same for the Phillips work zone screwdriver set. I could do with a few more screwdrivers, so that set will come in handy. As I said, the grip's quite nice. It's not sharp at all, quite comfortable to hold. So yeah, I do like those. These were $6.99 as well. $6.99 for 8 screwdrivers, and like I said, they're quite comfortable. One thing I would like to have seen was different coloured handles. So your Phillips handles were maybe red and your flat bladed handles were blue, so that you could tell instantly what sort of screwdriver you've got, because if they're rattling around in your toolbox you could be groping around for them. But if you know you're grabbing a red one, you know it's going to be Phillips. So if anybody from Aldi's watching, maybe that's something for the future, who knows. Right, the next thing, the next couple of items I've got on here are from Lidl again, and they are their sets that they do. The first one we've got is an electrical cable tie and heat shrink set, which I've done heat shrink in the past, but this caught my eye because if we just cut the Parkside label on the side, need a new blade on that scalpel. It's all different coloured coded. Now you've got cable ties and heat shrink, as I said. I think they should be in there. There is no green heat shrink, but there is red and black. There's also connectors, wire connectors, grips. It will tell you on the front you have 15 insulated quick connectors, both female and male, 15 of each. You've got 25 insulated butt slicers. Butt splicers, excuse me. And 25 blue ones, 15 yellow ones. You've got 150 cable ties and 20 bits of heat shrink, 7 cable clamps, ring terminals, 16 yellow, 20 blue ones and 25 insulated ones. So it's quite a good pack. These packs retail at £6.99 each. That's the first one I got, which I thought would come in handy for doing wiring because the colour coding always helps. And the second one was this crocodile clip set. Now, I do use crocodile clips quite a lot on my model railway work. People have said in the comments before, why do you keep mentioning your model railway? Well, that is the thing I work on most of all. But I'm always seem to be running out or buying crocodile clips. So this set was actually very good. There are 80 in here, and I don't want to spill them all. And they all come with the connectors, colour-coded connectors on. So you can have red minus, black positive. Put the wire through, and they actually are quite good quality. The springs on them are actually really strong, which is good. They've all got the screw in. So there's 40 of each. You've got relatively small ones, 2 quite large ones there. So I'm happy with that. Again, these were £6.99 each. I mean, there's some instructions there on how to use a crocodile clip. But anybody that did design technology or electrical work at school will know how to use that. Well, I would like to think so. But yeah, £6.99 for 80 crocodile clips. It will be a while till I have to buy any more. And I do like the fact that they're colour coded. If there was all one colour, that would be a bit difficult. But yeah, I like that set. That's going to come in handy indeed. So 2 bits of electrical items there. Your cable ties and connectors and your crocodile clip set. Parks item Lidl again, and £6.99 I think, or £4.99 a set. The next thing out the bag, again, this is out the Lidl bag, Parkside drill bit and tap drill bit set. I picked this up, this was about £7.99. It comes in a metal tin for drilling and tapping in metal and plastic. 15-piece set, there are 7 drill bits, as can be seen there, ranging from 2.5 up to 10.2 in various things, various sizes, and 7 taps, starting at M3 to M12. Little bit disappointed with that, as most of the taps I use are M2. If that was M2, that would be better, but I suppose I can keep this in reserve for future use. So, again, this is the difference between Aldi and Lidl. Lidl products are sealed, which makes them harder for sticky-fingered customers to take stuff out of them. So we'll remove that sellotape. Right, so there's a clip there, and you open it up. Oh, look at that. It actually opens up. So it's all part of the same. So it clips open, and it's all actually got an inbuilt stand. So it's actually quite sturdy. You're going to have a job knocking that over. And there we have what was described outside on the tin. Here is a small instruction manual, which is quite oily, the oil that protects them. Basically, that repeats what's outside, tells you what there is. You've got the M3 tap. There is the handle. So that screws in there. And then you've got your adjustable handle to put the tap in, screw it up. And there we go. Look at that. That is quite a good piece of kit. Feels relatively solid. For smaller tasks that I use them for model making, etc., they should be fine. Whether or not they'd stand the test of time doing any more vigorous metal work, I'm not so sure. I don't have anything to test it on like that, but what I will use it for, it will be perfectly sufficient. And then you've got your drill bits, as I said, ranging from 2.5. They're quite sharp metal. They're high-speed drill bits. 3.3, 4.2, 5mm, 6.8, 8.5 and 10.2. They seem odd numbers, 3.3mm. Now, they must go with the tap. I assume they go with a corresponding tap, which is why they are odd numbers. Now, I'm not going to claim to know everything because I don't know everything. My children do, but I don't. If somebody would like to leave a comment as to why they are odd numbers, then please feel free. As I said, anybody knows why they're odd numbers or whether it's to correspond with the corresponding tap, please let me know. I'm assuming it does. So if you were to, yeah, I'm assuming that 10.2 will need tapping with an M12 tap. But if anybody knows, let me know. I'm not an expert on this. It was just something I picked up to show on the video. Like I said, a nice metal tin, and it's actually own fold out. So you can see in the back there that little spring. So it actually folds down and is all nice and neatly folded up. I mean, it is. There we go. Yeah, I think I said. Did I say what it was? I think it was $7.99. I think. The next thing we're going to look at is this multi-angled bench vise from Parkside of Lidl again. I think I've done one of these in the past, but it was slightly different. So I'm going to go ahead and crack this open, and we're going to have a look at what we get inside the box. According to the box, it's quick and easy to fix to the work stops, up to 50mm thick, holds workpieces securely in position, and has a swivelling ball joint. Decoration not included, unless they mean that piece of wood, I suppose, but let's have a look and see what you get inside here. Right, there we go. The first thing I'm going to say is I do like the colour. I like the colour of that, that's quite nice. Now, there's your clamp to clamp it to your workbench with a rubber sole there to absorb vibration. There's the ball joint. That, to me, doesn't look like that's on there correctly because that's not sitting level and I can't move it. So I don't know if that's a manufacturing error, but the ball joint works properly. So even though that doesn't sit quite level on this bit, you can see there's an angle up there. You can tighten this up to the extent that it doesn't move. Oh, no, that's not going anywhere. And the vise itself on the top here, very free running, very easy to turn. And the vise grips have actually got these rubber protectors on, or you can actually use the metal protectors. You can use the metal vise jaws or these rubber protectors to protect whatever you're working on. So for example, if I was working on this tender from a Hornby mallard, I would use the rubber mounts, and then I can squeeze that up there knowing that the rubber isn't going to damage the detail on that tender. And as you can see, that isn't tightened up hardly in any way, and it is holding that tender in there no problem. And there you go, I can turn it with one finger, and that is quite heavy in itself. So I'm impressed with that. I like that. I like the colour. I think I've said that already, but I do like the colour. I just like, apart from that bit there not being level, I really like that. And there's something else in the box as well. There's a set of instructions, but again, anybody worth their salt should know how to work a vise. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then there is an additional vise clamp in the box that you can use for holding pipes. That's handy. I have read the instructions twice, because I just said anybody worth their salt would know how to work a vise. Now, it says in the instructions that to release the jaws, you use the Allen key and turn the jaws until they are free. I have tried 3 times to get that jaw off there, and it will not budge. It will not go off the end. I cannot physically remove that nut from the end there. Now, I can only assume that that was... Oh, I've done it. You knob. Right. So you use the Allen key to remove this nut. And then you take the jaws out. So you can take the jaw off. You release this nut bit under here as well. So you release that nut at the bottom. This then pulls out, allowing you to remove this nut, which is, oh, that is tight. All the nuts on this have been very tight. I'd imagine that in the factory in Germany, it's made in Germany, I'd imagine in the factory they use a machine. So once you've taken that vice head out, you can then attach the pipe fitting, which attaches in the exact same way, just turning that screw in there. I'm not going to fit it because the chances of me using this are very, very slim. But there we go. You can change your vice head from a vice to a pipe fitting. That is a very handy piece of kit to have. I'm now going to put this back together, but I'm going to save you the hassle of watching that. So there we are, a adjustable swivel head bench vice from Parkside of Lidl, interchangeable head and a free Allen key. I like that. It's not too bad. I think that was about 10 quid, I think. Like I said, the prices are going up a little bit. Last time I bought a vice like this from Lidl, it was about £8, so they're going up slightly. But it feels sturdy. I'm going to have to adjust this bit to try and get it to sit level, because that's going to mess with my head. But other than that, it seems very sturdy. And like I said earlier, surprisingly, it says on the box, made in Germany. So it's not China made, it's German made. Maybe it might last a bit longer. The next thing I'm going to have a look at out of the bag is... Oh, I actually forgot I bought these. Lidl secateurs. Now, I'm not going to start a gardening channel, but as they're in the bag, we might as well have a quick look at them. I actually bought these, didn't buy these to review, but let's have a quick look while I've got them out. Safety catch there. They seem extremely sharp. Right and left-handed operation. If I can get that to go across. Oh, maybe you need to... Yeah. So right hand... I think that's what that is. Is that right and left-handed? Must be. What else is it going to be? Let's have a look what it says on here. For powerful cutting fibrous plants, blade made from ground carbon steel, adjustable cut and grip for small and large hands. Oh, it's a oh, I get it. Small and large hands. A left-handed pair of secateurs. What a prat. With easy to use one-handed locking mechanism, practical wrist loop, and will cut wood up to 10mm thick. So where's that? I've just got a cocktail stick and bang. That didn't stand a chance. You don't want to get your finger in there. So yeah, there we go. That's a bit of a diversion from the norm. A pair of Parkside Lidl garden secateurs that I had actually forgot were in the bag, but as they're there, we will review them anyway. And yeah, they look quite good. They you can feel the slight film of oil on the yeah, there's a slight film of oil, so they've been well built by the feel of it, and there's a plastic guide to cut them. Yeah, so not left-handed, small and large hands. So yeah, a set of garden secateurs from Lidl's. Next thing I'm going to look at is this Ferrex wood engraving set that I picked up from Aldi. And I bought this because I might have a look at doing some of this in the future. So I'm just going to snip that cable tie off there that holds it in place. And I noticed one of the things has actually come adrift in the packaging. So let's open this up and have a look. I won't be firing this up tonight because I have no wood around me to engrave. But it comes with a lead, fully fused plug. There's actually a bit in the end there. They're unscrewed in. Whoops. So you've got a screw thread in the end there to take all these different features. You have even got, I'll just put that back in there. Come on. You've even got a holder for a scalpel blade, number 11, which is supplied. You've got various star shapes that you can engrave into the wood, and then various bits to chisel out wood with the heat. In the box you've got a stencil with the English alphabet, some signs and numbers, and that, as you can hear, is made out of, I think, aluminium. as well as a stand, because obviously this will get hot. There's your warranty information on the back, 3-year warranty, and your instruction manual. Tells you how to set the stand up, so the stand is basically the same as a soldering iron stand. General information, and then it tells you how to fit the tips and branding accessories. So that is all in English, which sometimes you get a big book like that and it's in various different languages. And that is your 3 years from date of purchase and 6 months of wear and tear of consumables, which is quite a good warranty really. And an after sale support. So that is, as I said, a wood engraving set from Ferrex, available at Aldi, and this was £10 this set. Customise your woodwork and create unique signs, jewellery, home crafts and much more. Perfect for detailing, stencil, and everything is included. And you can see there, I'll just give a close-up of him heat engraving the wood using that stencil supplied. There are the various bits, from tiny bits there to pointed ends, and these various stamps that come as part of this set. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to do some experiments with this. Might even do some engraving with the kids and see what we can come up with. The actual engraver itself is very similar to the Ferrex soldering iron that I reviewed. It's the cable is a bit cumbersome at the minute because it's all tied up, but a comfortable rubber grip, and you can hold it like a pencil and obviously work. Obviously don't do it on your fingers when it's turned on, but you can work on the wood, and you can use these brass tips to engrave in your woodwork. Obviously, one thing I will say is if you do work like this, have a sponge with some wet. Have a wet sponge so that you can clean the tips off should you get any wood or anything on them. Do not use this for soldering. Do not use it for melting plastics or metals. This is solely for wood. So don't go get carried away, otherwise you will end up damaging the tip or end up burning yourself, because this will get as hot as a soldering iron. Maybe not quite as the 1500 degrees that my soldering iron gets, but it will get very hot. And obviously there's a warning there to say that you must be 18 or over to purchase the product, and I'd say 16 or over to use it. Oh, bugger me, I've just knocked all them out there now. So that's the Ferrex wood engraving set from Aldi, and that was £10. Now, the last thing I'm going to show today is from Amazon, and this is £15, and I've done this specifically for modelers in mind who are starting out. This is a £15 craft set from Amazon, and we are going to have a look at what we get here. Inside, obviously this China-made craft set, are some sanding blocks with some very fine sanding pads on them. There are two there. You have got some snips, some side snips. Ouch. They're actually really sharp. Just cut that coffee stirrer, no problem. So I'll lay them out here so that you can see them, hopefully. You've got some side snips. You've got a small 15cm or 6-inch aluminium ruler in its own case. You've got a bag of stuff there we'll have a look through. You've got an easy grip scalpel blade with some scalpels in there. Again, all China made, so we'll have a look at the quality of this in a moment. That is your generic craft scalpel and various blades. I'll be careful opening this, I don't want to... Various small blades in there. Again, you have to be over 18 to buy these products from Amazon. So I'll bin all this packaging rubbish. There's your scalpel protector. We have a precision needle file set. That's ideal for starting off. Those files Oh, yeah, those files are cut quite coarse. They are quite sharp. You've got a couple of rat tail files, a flat file. My favourite file that I use all the time is the triangular one. Yeah, they're quite sharp. They're not as, they don't look as nicely made as those Parkside ones we just looked at, but this is for starting out crafting or indeed model making. Inside the clear bag we have, if I can open it, a small Archimedes drill, and you turn the handle and you can adjust the collet size to, that's actually quite nice. I like that, because you can drill and hold the end there, and the hand, you can hold it still and the drill still turns. We have got a set of drill bits from 0.8 to 3mm. 2 have come adrift in the box during shipping. I'm not surprised this has come halfway around the world to get to me, but you get the drill bits there. 3 pairs of tweezers. A big bugbear of mine is tweezers that don't match at the end, and they do. They're quite, that one is certainly quite nice. And they are electrostatically discharged tweezers, so they shouldn't cause any static electricity to build up, which is handy for me doing my models with my electrical work. And they all seem to match up quite nicely, so even though they don't look the best quality, they are actually quite good, those. We have a craft knife. We have a craft knife that refuses to, there we go. Blimey, now that is sharp. I don't want to get my finger near that. Let me just, that is extremely sharp, so I'll be being careful with that. Now, what's in the envelope? I have no idea what this is. I'll open it anyway. These are the hell are they? They are emery sticks, by the feel of it. You know what that is? Yeah, 180 grit emery sticks for sanding things. And then right at the bottom you have an A4 cutting mat. Oh, and you also have 3 sheets of wet and dry. You have got 240, 320 and 400. Oh, 4 sheets, even better. 800 wet dry. Grit paper, I didn't know they was in there. And an A4 cutting mat. Bloody plastic on this stuff. A double-sided A4 cutting mat with various angles. And on the back are the geometries if you're cutting card, etc. For 15 quid, I don't think that's too bad at all. So you've got the 4 sheets of wet and dry, an A4 cutting mat, you've got 4 emery sticks, which I'm certain that's what they are. You have precision file set, a very nice Archimedes drill, which I think I'm going to use that as my go-to, because my other one isn't very ergonomic, and that one with the spinny top, I do like that. A set of fine drill bits, scalpel and scalpel blades, 1 very sharp craft knife, 3 pairs of varying size of tweezers, electrostatic tweezers at that, 6-inch or 15cm ruler, some very sharp side snips, and 2 sanding blocks, one of which I cannot get back in this plastic wrapper, so I'll discard that. And that grand total of all that, as I said, from Amazon with free postage was £15. Now, if you're starting out in modelling or craft making, I don't think that's very bad value at all. And I do think that is good. I mean, if you were to buy these from a company like Expo, you're looking at probably £8 or £9 for a packet of drill bits like that on their own. Then you've got the handle. Scalpel blades I know are roughly about £2 or £3 a pack. There we go, you've got some there. 2 sanding blocks, side snips, which, let's be honest, all the stools you buy are made in China. My expensive side snips were probably made in the same factory as these. These are razor sharp and have got no issue cutting anything you put towards them. The tweezers are very good. Like I said, they all line up. They're not misaligned at all, which a lot of cheap tweezers are. The files are sharp. The emery paper is emery paper. That can't go wrong with that. So for £15 from Amazon, I really don't think you can go wrong. Yes, it's all China made stuff, but everything's going to be nowadays. And it is going up in quality in my opinion. So if you're starting out in modelling, if you watch my videos, trash to track, whatever, this is going to be a good set to buy. You get the cutting mat. Cutting mats are invaluable. Saves you harming your workbench. So yeah, I really like that. The last item for today is something else that I picked up at Lidl, and it is something everybody should have. It is a Crelando A3 size cutting mat. On the reverse side is your geometries. I'll take the plastic wrapper out of it because it's going straight on the workbench. I was pleasantly surprised to see these in Lidl's. These were £4.99 each. And I've got 5 or 6 cutting mats now, enough to cover my desk. It is flat, it is smooth for working on. That is very, very good indeed. Like I said, it's got your various curves, your geometries on it. And it saves you cutting into your desk. That is a very, very nice cutting mat. And you can see, I don't know how well the camera will pick it up. It's a 3-ply cutting mat, so it's very thick. In fact, let me bring this back. Let's have a quick look, because that's one thing I didn't check with this. The cutting mat in this is relatively thick. Now you can't see any ply with that, as in the thickness. But if we put the two together on the bench, there's no difference there at all. They are, for wanton purposes, let's get a wagon, they are the same depth. Exactly the same depth. So that's the one out of that Chinese craft set we've just looked at from Amazon. This is one from Lidl's. This is an A3 one. They are the same depth. They're very good quality. And that was £4.99 from Lidl. Modelers cannot have enough cutting mats. If I had my way, my whole desk would be a cutting mat because it just protects the wood. Obviously, I've got my trash to track mat, but I wouldn't want to cut on this because the knife would go through it. So to protect that, I would have a cutting mat like this. So yeah, that was from Lidl's, and that was £5. So here we are then with the selection of tools we've just looked at. Tools and modelling equipment. I can't actually fit it all in on the desk with the tubs and the file set, and that is just not enough room. I'm very happy with the haul this time. The tools, like I said, in Aldi, it's upside down. The tools in Aldi, the Work Zone and Ferrex stuff, is seeming to get a bit thin on the ground. Lidl's at the moment, I just don't know what they're going to get in. They're not advertising their tools in their magazines, so it's worth going in to have a look. I'm very happy with this. There's some really good stuff here. The crocodile clips, cutting mat. This vise is really good. I do like that. The tap and drill set, I'm not so keen on. I wish the taps were just slightly smaller. They're a little bit too big for what I'm going to use. And the engraving set, I really do like that as well. So I'll probably do a separate video on that when I've actually got around to using it. Thanks again for watching one of my Aldi and Lidl tool videos. Please like the video, that helps support the channel. Share the video, subscribe. If you haven't already, leave a comment, especially with the tap and drill bits. Do the drills correspond with the taps? I'm guessing they will. I'm no tool expert, and I don't very often have to use a tap. Like I said, if I do, it's an M2 tap, and I use a 1.8mm drill bit for that, so it stands to reason that the odd drill bit sizes are for the taps. So next time I hope to get another load of tools to review for you, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.